And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Aren't we, Jake? Who's that?
Working without
Who's that in that blue shirt back there? There he is. You guys
What's up, fellas?
snuck in there real quick. How you doing?
I was trying to grab a piece of equipment, but yeah, I couldn't find it. So, but anyways, hey, sorry about that. Like I said, working without net. But
No,
anyways.
yeah, it happens to us. It's par for the course. This has got to be the beginnings of a good show, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, it's great to finally talk with you on everything. I always wanted to speak with you on everything because I kind of felt like we were coming from the same aspect. You know, our YouTube channels were about Bigfoot, but yet we try to make it entertaining and interesting and engaging at the same time. You know, so I always thought we kind of connect pretty well. So I'm glad to be here.
That's good to have you. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, my name is Adam from Blue Line Bigfoot, or the BLB as we call ourselves, and this is.
Hi, y'all. I'm Jake. Nice to meet you.
That's Jake, and we have Clay here with us from Squatch and Strategies, guys.
Hello, Adam and Jake, and hello everybody in the chat room as well.
If you guys don't know about Squatch and Strategies, just go check them out. I put a link to your YouTube channel in like the first or one of the first little comments that are going to be underneath this video at the end.
Appreciate it.
People can go in there and look at that and see what's going on with that.
Awesome.
So, hey, man, thank you for coming on with us. It's
hey, absolutely. It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's cool. How's things? How's life?
It's going good. It's going good. You know, I mean, just working and trying to, you know, do the hobbies at the same time, which is kind of tough. You know, as y'all know, when you got a full-time job, it's kind of hard to, you know, make time, but you do it. You know, you do what you got to do, and you make time for fun. You know, that's what this is all about. You know, so
it really is. It really is. I mean, that's like me and Jake we're good at coming up with excuses. We're like, oh, we're so busy, we didn't. But it's the truth. It's the truth. I'm sorry. We were gonna do this. We were gonna do this, but we couldn't. We want to because this is like the funnest stuff that we have going for ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from other relationships we have and everything, but just as a friendship is something fun to do. It's like it's a big part of like hanging out, you know, just being
in the community, you know,
all that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
all that interaction with these people that you never would have otherwise known at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's fun. Like you, for example. This is a good example. You right here, right now.
Right.
You know, building a relationship for the first time.
Who does hunk it?
Yeah.
It is hunk. Yeah.
I want you to talk a little bit about Squatch and Strategies. Just quickly, in your own words, take your time, say it however you want to say it. Just kind of like, what was the
motivation behind it?
The inspiration, motivation, for the channel. You know, when did you think about it and all that?
Yeah. Well, you know, I got into it as an armchair researcher years ago, and you know, of course, I didn't know about the channels I do now. You know, I know a lot of channels with a lot more experienced researchers and a lot better quality channels than I did a couple of years ago. But when I was watching this and, you know, trying to research it on YouTube and everything, they all kind of seem the same. People would go out in the forest for 45 minutes and knock on trees and yell. And I was just, you know, we got to be more creative about approaching this. You know, I mean, we've gone 50 years and the best quality footage we got is Patterson gimlet footage from 50 years ago, you know? So I was just like, you know, how would I approach this if I were to go out and do this? And of course I had no experience whatsoever, and I don't claim to be a researcher or anything, you know, but I was just like, if I were to do this, what would my approach be? What would, you know, my twist on this be? And so I just, like I said in my intro, and like I told Carrie on, I kind of viewed it like fishing, you know, trying to put out a lure or a setup to make them pique their curiosity and, you know, bring them in and make them curious and kind of try to bring them to me, and then combine that with a setup of technology, whether it be thermal imaging or night vision or, you know, audio equipment or, you know, time-lapse cams or whatever. And so I just, like I said, I've always been able to kind of think outside the box. And so I just figured, why not make a YouTube channel about this and just kind of put my own, you know, kind of twist on this. Whether it works or not, I don't know. You know, I mean, but what I view is every technique is worth a shot. I mean, otherwise, how are you going to know if it works or not? You know, so, I mean, people are kind of set in their ways, but if you don't try something new, how are you going to know if it works? You know, so I really thought it was, you know, and especially when I saw Carrie Arnold's channel come into fruition and bloom, with the Bigfoot Odyssey, you could kind of tell that just the whole community was going through a metamorphosis and a maturing. And I felt it was a good time to, introduce new ideas and, inject, different methods and everything. So I just figured now would be a good time to start. And hey, man, it's been a blast, and I'm having a good time, and I'm meeting great people. So, you can't go wrong either way. So
I don't think you can go wrong when you invest with something that you have your heart is already into already.
Yeah.
You're bringing your creative lens to this subject, and so you're putting all of your heart and passion into this. You're gonna get rewarded 100%.
Absolutely. And that's one thing I kind of started out with prematurely a while ago, but I kind of view we kind of take the same approach as far as our YouTube channels go, because we actually launched like within a month apart from each other. I mean, I don't know, y'all started on y'all's
March 3rd.
That's when season 1 was launched, but I think we've been
correct.
on for like since the 2016 somewhere. Our channel was on there. We were just throwing some feelers out there. But we weren't advertising anything. We weren't saying much of anything. We were just putting some stuff out there and kind of like,
got you.
Just looking at some stuff without really trying to do much.
Well, my point was we kind of invested fully in it about the same time, within like a month apart. We kind of launched. So, I really think we really take a very similar approach. Like I said, our channel's about Bigfoot, but we try to make it entertaining yet informative, and inject some comedy into it. And I mean, because not many channels are like that, and especially not just now, but especially from here going forward the next couple of years. I mean, the younger generation does not have an attention span more than a couple of minutes. So I mean, to really bring those people in, to bring the younger community in, you really have to make it entertaining. And I mean, that's the bottom line. You got to make it entertaining. You can't it can't be flat. You have to change it up. It has to be fast paced. I mean, and so that was one of my goals. And I see that in y'all's channel as well. So,
wow. Yeah, I'm glad you do. When we launched our stuff, we were like, the whole idea from the get-go was to make something that was going to be entertaining and as informative as we could make it, because we honestly don't know a whole lot about it. We've learned a lot since we started.
Yeah.
But also we wanted people to be on the guessing game, playing the guessing game. Are these guys for real? Are these guys joking around? And I mean, Carrie, the first time he was like kind of watching our stuff, I think he was just sitting there like,
he even said that too.
What's going on with these guys?
He's like, are these guys for real and serious? Are they not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So me and Jake were like, yeah, man, this is great. We're doing what we said we were going to do. It's working.
Exactly.
So, I mean, and that's fun. And we've got a lot of flack from people just by like, these guys are just, all they do is like hang out and laugh, and they're just a bunch of jokers, and they drink too much and they swear and this and that. And, when we started making this whole thing, it was just about, we didn't know what we were doing with it. We were just out recording ourselves and trying to make some fun happen.
We know when you're breaking new ground, you're going to catch flack. I mean, people aren't used to it. They're not used to that rhythm. They're not used to that setup and that, so you're going to catch flack when you're doing something that nobody's really done before and taking a whole new approach. So,
yeah.
I love how you've taken a kind of the MacGyver of squatching approach to that one episode. Dude, that was great. The way you set up the timer. It was, I think, I connected with that, being a product of the 80s myself. And I remember, MacGyver.
I appreciate it. Well, I mean, my goal was to kind of go old school in that, because it was squashing on a budget, so my goal was to go old school.
So how many things did you tear apart when you were a kid? Were you like ripping apart toasters in the vacuum cleaner? And
dude, I got in so much trouble when I was a kid. I mean, I was a hoodlum when I was in my teens and early 20s. I mean, and I've said this in my episodes. I mean, I literally spent 3.5 years in jail between the ages of 17 and 23. I mean, I was just a hoodlum. I didn't care about the rules. I didn't care about authority. I did what I want. I didn't care about, and didn't care about the consequences. Of course, they're catching up with me now. It's like they always do. but I mean, that was just kind of how I always was, and I was always a tinkerer, and in between those periods of trouble and not, I was actually going to college for mechanical engineering, and so I was always real good at chemistry and physics and mathematics. I always understood it really well and was able to look at things in a different way and stuff. So
break it apart with your eyes,
yeah, I was always good at that. And then, like I said, I made some wrong choices and had to kind of take a different path as far as career-wise, and that's why I went towards the personal training and restaurant industry. Fine dining restaurant industry is what I'm in now. So, but yeah.
What part of that industry are you doing now?
I'm a waiter at a fine dining restaurant.
Cool.
Is what I've been
I
doing.
bet people love you. I bet you're very good at that. You seem like
a lot of talking. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be a people person, so
you gotta read. You gotta know how to read people.
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly,
one of my gripes in today's society is like customer service. And me and Jake have been in the customer service business in one way or another since we could work, and as well as working with our hands and being private contractors and all that crap. But the customer service, when you find a good waiter in a place that makes you feel welcome, that's on point, that's doing all this stuff, but not too over the top and in your face. There's like this fine line. There's this art to that whole thing.
Yep.
And man, I bet you're really good at that. That's cool.
Yeah, well, I like to think I am. I mean, you catch pros and cons as with any job, but
that's how it is. That's how it is everywhere.
Yeah, but I've enjoyed it, and I otherwise I wouldn't have been doing it for this as long as I have. So now I don't plan on doing it forever, but it works for now. So
that's good. I did want to ask you about, like, you've been in and out of jail since you're between 17 and 24, 25.
Yeah.
Like that. What was that like? I mean, what type of jail were you in? And what was that kind of environment like? I mean, I've always been curious because you see stuff on TV, you have ideas. I've had another friend who was in jail a long time ago, and we weren't really friends when he was in jail, honestly. And I haven't really ever talked to him about it.
Yeah.
But besides that, I've always been kind of like, worst comes to worst, I end up there for some reason. Right. What am I up against here?
I mean, I have no problem talking about this in private. I'm just not really sure how much I want to disclose on a live stream or anything. But
no problem.
Yeah.
On to the next thing. We're moving on.
Hey, how about this? the morning that you, or maybe it was in the evening, but when you came up with the intro for your show over there to Squatching Strategies, that little oh crap, like that, that's like what morning? When did that come from? Or when are these ideas you get? Are they?
I don't know. I mean, they just
like epiphanies, or
and I actually wanted to even add to that and record me walking through like branches and leaves, like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh,
cool.
And then the
yeah.
I thought but then I don't know. I kind of felt it was getting too complicated, so I just went back just to the straight, logo, and then so. I don't know. I might go back to expanding on the intro part. I don't know yet.
You got to have those eyes moving around.
Right. Well, see, that's another thing is, I mean, the actual squatch that's in the binoculars, I mean, that's not my idea. And I have some other people that are offered to work with me with a logo. And so I'd love to, and that's when I really like to expand on the intros, when I have, a certified,
brand
logo, and that I can really brand and expand on, so that's another reason why I haven't really expanded on that. So, yeah.
Interesting. I do also have another question, as I have plenty of them stocked up here, but
hey, let's go.
You made a YouTube channel. And that kind of launched, kind of the whole idea of it kind of came out at the same time ours did and all that. But you're on YouTube and you're surfing around and you're looking at Bigfoot videos and getting into this, and you're obviously interested in what's going on with the phenomenon of Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever. First question, why is that? Secondly, do you remember the first time you ever have your first Bigfoot memory of, like, when you first heard of Bigfoot, like when you were a kid or something?
Why did I first get interested in Bigfoot? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, how did that happen?
I mean, like I said, I always was interested in Bigfoot. I mean, and this, kind of like I said before, when when I was a teenager, I was a runt in high school. I was a little skinny guy, and I was always picked on, and so I became obsessed with working out. And like I said, I was always good at chemistry and physics and everything, so I started researching body chemistry and everything and kinetics, and I always understood that really well, and so I became obsessed with working out. And like I said, after knowing all that, when I saw the Patterson-Gimlin film, just the kinetics of the movement, you could just tell it wasn't a man in a monkey suit. I didn't know what it was. And like I said, since then, they've come out with, especially with Thinker Thunker's limb proportion analysis and pluses, just the proportion analysis between the eyes, the nose, and the mouth and everything. So, I mean, I didn't know that then, but I could just tell that something was off with the kinetics of the movement. You could just tell it wasn't a man in a monkey suit. So I always just, as soon as I saw that, I knew this could possibly be real. There's just something off about this. And so I was always interested, plus I was always interested in cryptid, Loch Ness Monster and all that when I was growing up. But just when I saw that, after I understood kinetics and body physics and everything, I knew that there was something special about that piece of footage. And so I always, in the back of my mind, I knew that this could possibly be real. And then, so that was always kind of in the back of my mind. But then, like I said, then Monster Quest came out 15 years ago or whatever. And I was obsessed with that show. I loved it, especially, the Howlgrass Man and just all the different Bigfoot things that came out. The board with the nails, with the blood on it and the shape of the foot, like 18 feet long. And, I just became obsessed with that. And that's when I really started kind of, Googling and listening to Jeff Meldrum and, looking at the hair analysis and the, of course. And so that's when I really started getting into it. And then, I started looking up YouTube videos. But like I was telling Carrie, you research Bigfoot video in YouTube and you get 20 videos of NVTV and finding Bigfoot. That's the only clips you get. You don't get really good researchers and, different, true footages. And so that was one of the things that kind of put in the back of my mind that, I'm going to create this channel because there's just crap out there. Like I said, I didn't know the channels I do now, and I didn't know the resources I do now and everything. But, so, I mean, that's just kind of what led me getting into it. So
now, how old were you when that happened?
When
you first got it, like say you first were watching the footage, and after you had been involved with some physical fitness and all that.
As young as we are, the Patterson-Gimlin footage has been out since we were born. So
yeah, sure, yeah.
So there's no telling. I mean, like I said, I was always interested in cryptids, and I've always been a very
it's just one of those things. Kind of always there, as far as you know.
Right. And I've always been a very spiritual person. So, of course, you're always interested in ghosts and the paranormal and, not wanting to put yourself in too much danger, but, kind of interested in what's out there. And so,
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it.
Exactly.
What are you thinking about that?
Yeah. We're
Have you ever had any ghost encounters there?
Oh, hold on now. It's getting hot in here. Yes.
And that's another thing. Next Monday and Tuesday, I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about this, but I don't know if y'all know Text 2517. He's a good friend of DDoS on the BDRP.
Heard of him, yeah.
Okay. Well, me and him are getting together next Monday and Tuesday, along with the ladies from What the Paranormal, and we're all going out and doing an overnight thing up to the Texas-Oklahoma border. Awesome. And so we're kind of doing a Bigfoot / paranormal investigation. And so I haven't decided whether I'll make a video of it or not. I don't know, because it depends on what the people agree to be in front of the camera or not. But my next video might be a little bit more than Bigfoot. Not that I really intend on going that way or anything, but it's just who we're teamed up with. So that might be the way my next video kind of turns out. So, but anyways, I think that'd be really fun. We're doing some squatching during the day, but some paranormal activity up at an ancient Indian cemetery at nighttime. So yeah, that'd be fun too. So, and I kind of hear you that y'all are kind of dipping your toes in kind of the same aspect there. So,
I mean, so to speak. But I mean, have you ever seen a ghost? Have you ever been haunted? Have you been to a proper haunted house that you know of? Do you think?
I never have. My sister, when she was like 8 years old, she said she saw an angel in my bedroom. When she got up to go to the bathroom, and she saw, actually, I can't remember if it was in my bedroom or if it was in the bathroom next to my bedroom. But either way, my sister Shannon Campbell, she said that she saw an angel. I think it was in my bedroom. But anyways, so she has seen one close to me. I haven't seen one. But I've always been very interested in that. Otherwise, I wouldn't do some of the things I do, like a 30-day water fast and
Sure.
stuff like that. So I've always been very intrigued by that, and so
That doesn't scare you, going to an ancient burial ground at night, something like that? Do you get? I mean, something.
Of course, you can be reluctant. Of course, you are, and of course, my main concern was I haven't met the people I'm going with, so I was like, are they going to be doing seances or anything? Are they Christian? Are they going to be praying? Cool. Okay. All right. I'm in, so, I mean, that was kind of one of the main things I was concerned about.
Of course.
I'm not worried about things happening to us as a group, as long as we're on the same page and we're Christian and we pray before we go in and, have the same mindset as we go. I'm not worried about things attacking us as far as that goes. But if I don't, if the people going in with us had a different mindset and different intentions, then yeah, that's something to worry about and be afraid of. So, after I was aware that we're all on the same page, then my worries were squashed.
Sure.
So I'll put it that way.
Good. Nice. Did a little groundwork there ahead of time. That's nice.
Yeah. You got to.
Important with something like that.
Right.
At least now you know a little bit about them.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's important. That's cool.
Yeah.
What about UFOs? Are you involved in any of that type of unexplained type of activity or anything?
Haven't involved myself with it yet. I mean, I'm open to it. I've always been open-minded. I'm open to everything, but I haven't done any like personal active research in it or anything like that. If that's what you're asking. So,
sure.
But I mean, I would actually love to. I mean, never been opposed to it. Just haven't done it. So
yeah. Well, I don't know if you probably don't know this, but Jake and I, before we started the BLB, Blue Line Bigfoot, we our first idea was to work on this project called Adirondack Paranormal. What was it? It was Winker and Buzz, Adirondack Paranormal, something researchers or something. And some of the stuff we were,
or was it just Adirondack Paranormal?
It might have been something like that. But it was like, we've both had UFO encounters ourselves, separate from one another.
Very nice.
And we both had them together on more than one occasion. So, and I don't want to get into all that, but that's why we're a little bit involved in that type of thing, because stuff has happened. It's not like when it happens to you, I guess it's like you get more interested in it.
Yeah, of course. Just like Bigfoot, you can have an encounter. You're gonna be, it changes your whole aspect.
If you are a quote unquote knower, if you're a knower, then boom,
exactly.
no one can tell you. No one's gonna tell you different.
And then you really want some answers.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
yeah. So of course, if you see a UFO, I mean, you're gonna be. Why wouldn't you be curious after that? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Especially if it's local in your very.
Yep.
Local, right there.
Right.
Spitting out little light with what's that light coming out of the bottom, looking like, literally it looked like, I don't want to go into, but remember that movie?
Close to the Third Kind?
No, it was that one with the.
I think I know the one you're talking about too.
It's the little
batteries not included.
Yeah, batteries not included.
Oh yeah, he's going like that.
That wasn't that with like the little tin?
Yeah.
Very nice, Adam. Very nice.
Yeah, baby.
But something like that with a little light on the bottom coming out like it's a drone or something, and and I was just like, I was Foxy Brown. That's what I played over my head. Ain't nobody got time for that. You know, I was like throwing it out into the universe that I don't have time for UFOs. Like, I can't deal with UFOs right now. Mentally, there was too much on my plate already. You know, I don't like to have a
tactic.
Yeah, I'm a compartmentalizer.
Now, here's the question. Say there are 3-foot wide drones flying over. Are they extraterrestrial or are they from our own government and everything?
Yeah.
See, I mean, that's a good question. I would say, you know,
TR3B.
25 years ago, I would have thought there's no way they can be government. They have to be extraterrestrial, what I'm seeing, you know. But then, you know, we're seeing this stuff nowadays all the time. And there's no, who's to know that the government didn't have way advanced technology just from human resources all this time along that they haven't been releasing. And who knows? Who really knows? I mean,
of course, there's stories of these happening 100 years ago, and I know we didn't have them then. You know,
yeah. You know, good point. That is a very good point.
There's even some UFO Christopher Columbus stories.
There is, yeah.
Lights,
and there's also some like Leif Erikson Bigfoot stuff. So on both measures, there are stuff in dating back like a long time ago.
As far as recorded history,
that's what makes it interesting. You know, this stuff has been going back for centuries. You know, it's not new. You know,
it's so weird. It blows my mind all the time. It's fun to think about. Sometimes I'll just go into like this little state of zoning out on it and how bizarre it is that we just don't know what these things are.
Right.
It's like, how can we not know? There's so many people on this planet.
Clay, you and Adam are exactly alike. You know, you take things apart. You're outside the box. You know, geez Louise, he never ceases to amaze me either with some of the ideas he comes up with. Just from looking at it in a different way, you know, from just sitting around and thinking about
from different perspectives. Yeah, that's what it's all about. You know? Yeah.
Have you ever had an encounter of any sort, or maybe think you might have?
I haven't had an encounter. However, when I was filming my 3rd episode, and I have this breakdown in the episode to where when I go into a squatching area, what I do is I put a camera on my front windshield and I put a camera out each side windshield, and I have them running, you know, and I'll drive like 4 miles an hour into the area and out of the area, and then I'll go over the footage afterwards. Well, this one time we were leaving up at the Texas-Oklahoma border. I was going down, and of course I had the window cracked, not just so I can hear what's going on out there, but also so the camera will fit through and with the clamp, you know, on the window. But me and my girlfriend were driving down 4 miles an hour, and we heard these footsteps out the driver's side window. And so I stopped the vehicle, and of course the footsteps stopped also. And I pulled up about 10, 15 more feet, and I heard the footsteps again, and I stopped again. And of course, you know, I'm looking head level, you know, because I think something's walking around out there. But, you know, actually, I'll get back to that. But I was looking head level because I thought someone was walking around. But when I got home and looked at the footage, it looked like there might have been something laying down on the grass. That when we pulled up the car, it looked like it brought a branch over in front of its face. And when I stopped the vehicle, it took the branch away. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know what it is. Could have been a rabbit or a deer. I don't know. I've heard a lot of other explanations and people calling me crazy. And, you know, you're seeing something that's not there. And who knows? But that's what it looks like to me. And not just that, but I heard footsteps outside the window. You know, so that added to me thinking something was there, you know. And maybe it was an adult walking towards because that's what it looked like, was an adolescent that was laying down on the ground. So maybe an adult was walking towards the adolescent to make sure it was okay or make sure we didn't do anything to it. I don't know. Another thing that made me think that something was there was once we went past that, before I even looked back on the video footage, I just had a feeling that something was there in the bushes. So I said, let's turn back around. And I didn't show this in my episode because there wasn't anything to show, but there's actually a story to it. We turned back around and I got out of my car. I put a camera on my forehead. I put one on the back of me. And I went walking right past where that was in the footage. But granted, I didn't know where this was exactly in the footage. I just knew the general area. So I'm walking through, and this is the only time of the, I mean, I've only been squashing 5 or 6 times now, but this is the only time I've felt the need to speak to them. Like, I'm here as a friend. You know, I'm not here to hurt you. I mean, this is the only time I felt the need to speak to them. You know, like I felt something was there. And I was like, I'm here as a friend. I don't mean to hurt you. I just, you know, I just want to, you know, want to explore, and, you know, I'm being nice. I don't mean any harm, you know. And I watched the footage that was on my head cam. And as soon as I get to that spot, for some reason, I turn and look the other way as I'm walking at that spot. And then I go back, and then I come back the other way. And the same thing happens. For some reason, when I get to that exact little hole in the bushes, something makes me turn, but just turn the right way to where my head cam and my back cam are not pointed towards that little hole. And I don't know if it's anything. I don't know. But it was just very weird that I felt the need to get out and speak to them in a way I've never felt to speak to them before. But also that when I got to that exact hole, I turned, but in a way that my head cam and my back cam weren't facing that hole. And it was just very weird. So I'd say I've never had an encounter that I know for sure, but something was just very weird about that occurrence. I'll put it that way, you know. So
yeah,
so
that is weird, and you can't actually explain it to yourself.
Yeah,
but it was a strong emotion, and it was odd, and that to me is something to think about and something to remember if you can, because a lot of that stuff where you think, what the heck is going on? To me, years later, you might find out what was happening. So, you know, if it's odd enough where you're thinking, okay, what the heck is going on? Something's weird here. Just try to hold that memory, hold that thought of how you felt, because that might get answered for you at some point.
Yeah, and that's what DDoS says. He says, you know, once you feel that feeling, hold on to it and follow that feeling. That's what leads you. You know, follow that feeling. So that's one thing DDoS, which is very experienced, and I have a lot of trust in him. So, but you know, I felt that feeling, and it was cool. Very strong, and it's very interesting when you feel that. You know. So, but anyways, like I said, I didn't put that in my episode because there wasn't anything to show, you know. But it was something on the side that was just very interesting to kind of add to it, you know. So, but anyway, so
how do you feel about the whole mind speak thing? I mean, do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't really, because I haven't experienced it. I believe there. I mean, I'm open-minded to everything.
Sounds like you just did. It sounds like you just did experience that mind speak. He mind spoke you with that sound, that feeling like you've never felt it before. You can't put your finger on it, but you can never forget.
Mind speak or electromagnetic field or just feeling eyes on you, or I mean, who knows? But I mean, like I said, I've always been open to everything. So, I mean, I've never experienced mind speak per se to where I like hear a voice or anything, but
no,
I wouldn't doubt it's possible. I wouldn't. So
I'm just going to quickly tell you how I feel about it real quickly, because it just kind of came to me real quick. It's like the mind speak thing to me might not be what you think it is or what someone else might think it is. It might be like they're not putting words in your mind, like, Adam, go walk over there, or anything like some voice, but maybe just some kind of
feeling or emotion.
An emotion. You're compulsed to go over here quick, or go check something out. You just have a strong feeling to go do something, or maybe that is mind speak.
Well, if that's the case, then that's exactly what happened to me that day. You know, but I don't know. I'm sure different people have different definitions for mind speak, but I mean, it was very unusual circumstance, you know. So
yeah. Carrie wants to know if we're taking questions from the chat. I mean, when we can get to into it. We're kind of both like trying to get the most out of Clay here, but I see one over on the side. I'll definitely answer that. All in caps works the best for this. This is like our first time doing this thing here with this all in caps, right? If you have a question in the chat room, put it all in caps, and maybe we'll see it easier.
Guys, I just want to remind y'all to keep it clean, and appreciate that. And we got the best moderators on YouTube. I know y'all can be there. What? Everybody can have fun but me? No, just kidding. Sorry.
And I actually apologize. I haven't even been watching the chat. I like to rewatch them and see what everybody's been saying.
Sure, yeah, we're just kind of talking to you.
But, yeah, exactly.
No apologies necessary at all.
Yeah, I don't like to be distracted by the chat. I like to.
It's hard. Me too.
Yeah. Especially.
Jake's right. We do think a lot alike.
Yeah. You're cut from the same cloth.
Damn. So let's talk quickly about your cat. I'm really
Cloth.
I'm really interested in your cat. How's the cat doing?
She's doing good. Yeah. In fact, if y'all haven't seen, that's one of my kind of entertainment aspects that I like to inject into my episodes is because my episodes are me going out and creating setups and combine them with technology and everything. And what's really the chances of me catching evidence of Bigfoot when I go out and do this on that particular setup once a month? Not very much. So I like to make it entertaining as well. And one aspect that I came up with was Squashy Kitty, and it's my cat. And I just kind of came up with a little skit with her and everything. And I don't know, I think it makes it a little more entertaining and everything. So, but yeah, she's doing good. Yeah, like I said, if you haven't seen the 4th episode, go back and watch that. She was recovering from the surgery, and yeah, she's doing good though. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's awesome. So.
Yeah, that's I love that part. She needs like a superhero, the flying. She already is
I've got some plans for her. I've got some very interesting, funny stuff for her to do in the next upcoming episodes. So
looking forward to it. Now, how's the tail doing? Is she getting fluffed back out there on that tail where she had that?
Slowly. It's still, you can tell it's shaved, but. Yeah, it's filling out slowly. She's a lot more confident now. Right at first, for like the first month, she was, because she's always been an inside-outside cat, and she was very insecure going outside with that shaved part of her tail. And she would go out at nighttime for a couple of minutes, but she'd always stay right beside me and hide behind the bushes. She was very insecure about having the upper part of her tail shaved, which any of us would, shave your head and put you out in public, see how you feel.
Yeah. Uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. So, but she's getting more used to it now. She's going outside a lot more now and everything. So she's getting a lot more comfortable. So I'm proud of her. Yeah.
Yeah. Good to hear.
Yeah.
That's great. I like the back and forth. Yeah, it is. Now, what other show? Maybe so you were an Alf fan? You were a fan of Alf?
Fan? I watched it a little bit as a kid. Wasn't a huge fan. Why do you say that though? What made you?
Well, I don't know. Just the fact that Alf is kind of like a character, or someone else is putting words in his mouth. Like you're putting words in the mouth of the cat. Your voice in the cat, or
I don't know. I don't know what gave me that idea. I really don't. I just I thought it'd be interesting, and so I just did it.
It's great.
If I could contribute it to an inspiration, I really would.
Have you seen
one off the bat? I just I thought it'd be interesting and entertaining. Like I said, I always want to, like I said, make my videos as entertaining as well as educational, and I just thought that'd be cool. My cat's a good cat, and I just record her doing just random stuff. And of course, that's the one stage part of my videos. Of course, you can't train a cat to go squatching, so that is my one stage part of my videos. But I record her doing random stuff, and I put a story behind it, and that's what I do. And it works out, So.
No one had a Squatch Kitty until now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. I ain't never seen this before.
Yeah. Now everyone's going to want a Squatch Kitty.
Right.
So everyone should get out there to their rescue shelters and pick yourself up a Squatch Kitty.
Exactly.
Treat her nice. Put her on your lap. And pet her softly.
Oh, dude, she's awesome, man. Yeah, that's one of my funnest parts of doing the episodes is kind of working her into it.
There was a
she's
fan
a natural on camera.
There was a fan of Bigfoot Odyssey. Her channel, I think it's Lynn McNaughton. She puts up some cat videos. I think it's Mr. Dempsey's something. I'll have to try to find a link.
Is Mr. Dempsey the name of the cat?
Oh yeah,
that is like the best name.
And she plays piano and sings this
meow
meow meow meow
Mr.
meow
Dempsey.
meow. And she makes the and it's gonna be the best video you watch all day.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, one of my friends told me the percentage of YouTube videos that are just spent watching kitty videos, and it's outrageous. It's
Isn't it awful?
You know?
It's awful. What?
Yeah.
What?
And hey, I've been guilty.
What I choose to spend my time doing.
Same thing. I didn't say anything, so hey, it's whatever. It's what goes. It's what works. So, but hey, so tell me a bit about y'all's plans. What do y'all think about doing here the next couple of months and everything?
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked that, because you know what?
On
this paper that I've kind of come up with, the last question on here was, which they're not in any particular order, just stuff coming out of my head. Ask us any questions you'd like to ask. What are we doing, Jake?
Well, it's
we're
fixing to put out season 2's coming up here. Halloween.
Right.
We are,
and that is a dog. We've been working all the time on editing that thing and putting it back together, going through the footage, and it's a strange thing. And some people may know this or not because we've said this a couple of times, but season 2 is like it's like a odyssey in itself, just a 24-hour kind of deal where we go on this trip, explore an overnight kind of squash activity, and and we kind of filmed the whole entire thing, and we're putting it back together, and it's just happened kind of late summer, early fall. A little earlier than now, right? Is when it happened.
I believe so.
A lot of leaves on the trees, nothing really changing too much color. But it was very interesting, and it's kind of a little creepy, and editing it is kind of strange for me when I'm in the editing room, like I was today for a couple hours earlier today, just listening to the background noise of what's going on with our cameras. It's just quiet there. There's no, and plus we're in the middle of nowhere. There's no noise. The only thing you'll ever hear is possibly like a plane maybe go over once in a while. Maybe. I don't even think I've heard one of those yet.
I think it's the 632 that flies out of Plattsburgh to Fort Lauderdale.
Sure. Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, Spirit Air.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, it's kind of fun, but it's also a little bit hard to get through a good editing session with this footage, because it just gives me this strange feeling when I'm done editing. I'm like, ugh. It's like this little thing I want to just get out of the editing room, and some of it's funny and it's fun because it's just us doing our thing, but at the same time it's a little hard to do it long editing sessions. Just it's freaky.
Right, yeah. And that's one of the reasons it's taken me a lot longer to come out with my episodes, and not just that, but my fitness channel as well, because it's fun editing and it's fun seeing the product of your work, but it's hard too. It takes a drain on you, and then you got to think about what you want to do, before you. You got to take a break every now and then, So
yeah.
Don't just happen. Don't just fall into the universe, does it?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's work, but it's fun. It's some of the best fun work we do.
Yeah.
What else?
It is fun. It is fun though.
It is fun. It's fun for us. We're always trying to come up with something, a different way to hang out. And
we've got Stony Creek going on right now.
Yeah, we have Stony Creek going on right now.
Okay, so let me ask y'all, what inspired y'all to create your channel? I haven't heard this. Maybe I've said it before. I don't know. But have y'all gone over it before? If so,
no.
Then, we'll go on to
it. We like to keep our cards right here. That's where we keep them.
BLB. Jake came up with BLB. It was Blue Line Bigfoot. He was looking at other places like the BFRO and noticed that people had these little acronyms and this and that going on for this is back. I say back in the day, but it's only like 5 years ago. But it's still back in the day. A lot, like you said earlier, a lot's happened since then. The Bigfoot Odyssey kind of. This is like things are coming. Like there's a lot of steam behind this all of a sudden. And back then there kind of wasn't. And so yeah, BFRO and all these other things, and Blue Line Bigfoot was an idea. And Blue Line is the boundary of the Adirondack Park in upstate New York. And BLB just kind of stuck, and it was good. But we were like we said earlier, we were working on some paranormal stuff, kind of just because we had other encounters. We had some stuff going on that were unexplained. And me and Jake have always, since we were able to have video cameras, and we've been friends forever, and we just always we're always out making movies, and we're always just making these stupid little videos. And then we were in a band for years together.
Really?
And, yeah, and we made music. Yeah,
Very nice.
and we made music videos a lot. I mean, most of the songs we produced had music videos to go along with them. Not all of them, but most of them did. And so, we're always just working with stuff, and then come up with these funny little videos and little movies and stuff. The Bigfoot thing kind of came along more or less more seriously when I had my first definite eye-opening experience. And
Right.
I've discovered since then that I've had a lot of Bigfoot encounters that I just didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
But
Just like Harry. Yeah.
yeah, I heard something really that is and that's in, I think, the beginning of some part in season 1, episode 1. Talk a little bit about it. I was recording a different music project at the time, and this noise, I heard it through the music, through the headphones, super loud, this really weird moaning noise, sound like a noon whistle, like a siren. And so I had to I took my headphones off, and it was still going. I thought it was something coming from the computer. And anyway, long story short, a lot of research since then found out that's probably what it was like a Sasquatch call. And that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for on the internet, looking for moose, what a moose call sound like, what a wolf call sound like, any kind of animal indigenous to the 48 United States down here.
Please let a bobcat sound like that. Please.
just going through. I mean,
Mountain lion calls. Oh, there it is. Thank you.
up all night into the morning researching this, and there's a lot more to it than that. But that's what got me more into the Bigfoot part of it than the UFO part of it. And we kind of and Bigfoot's part of that unexplained thing anyway. So that would fit right into our first project called Winker and Buzz, Adirondack Paranormal Investigators. That's what it was.
Oh, okay, yeah. And, Winker and Buzz.
Yeah. So, and then Jake has had encounters and weird things happen to him too that are unexplained. That once we got researching, he thinks they're kind of, and I do too, think that they're some kind of Squatch interaction, some kind of encounter.
Mm-hmm.
No eyewitness. We don't have an eyewitness encounter.
Yeah.
But we've got enough things happening around here that point to that.
Right. Like I said, I haven't had an encounter either. But I mean, once you start researching the evidence, as far as Bigfoot goes, anyways, once you start researching the evidence, there's just too much evidence. If you look into it, it's evident there's something out there.
Yeah, there is.
Have to unidentified primate hair samples, and just all these tracks and eyewitnesses and encounters. It's just once you look into it, it's unmistakable. There's something out there that people are seeing that's there. It's not a mass hysteria type of thing. So yeah, exactly.
One thing I think is funny, and just kind of people don't understand what goes on around here. We have over 6 million acres of what is a lot undeveloped wilderness here in the Adirondack Park. And there's a lot of places right next to us that are just in the middle of nowhere where people are finding strange things. They're finding footprints that are we've got pictures of footprints that are they're these huge footprints. And it's nobody's up there. Nobody's putting these things together. And the footprints we saw were in a thin layer of snow that was just about ready to melt, probably going to melt that day with a leaf bed underneath it. So someone's way up in the woods on poaching someone's property with these molds they made.
Hoping somebody stumbles across it within the next hour.
Yeah. And okay, I'm done. I'm out of here. I know they're going to be right here and see these things. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and reports it and takes photos and does all this. So, yeah.
So, I mean, that's just one thing. The footprints are one thing that a lot of the skeptics just are people are. I don't care if people don't believe in Bigfoot. That's fine. That's fine. What isn't fine to me is the people that do believe in Bigfoot, that are on channels like this and on channels like friends of ours. They go to live chat, go to post chat, and just say mean things because they think that something should have been said a little differently. Instead of, you should have had an open mind when you said this, or this is this. And it's like, if that's what you want to say, that's fine. But do it in a nice way. Just don't be a jerk about it. That right there, that's on my question list here too, is like, what's your reaction? Do you have like type of people come on your channel and just say like, kind of like try to cut you down a little bit?
How do you
or
deal
that,
with
does that not happen?
fires?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I only have like 240 subscribers, so I only have like 5 comments per episode. So I don't really have a whole lot of people giving me, crap and everything. So I'd love to reach that point, but it really hadn't happened yet. Now, when I post things on Facebook, I do get comments. Like, I'll post my episodes on the Bigfoot Odyssey, Facebook group and everything, and I will get comments on that and everything. So, but you just take it with a grain of salt. And so, but
yeah. But like I said before, that's the thing that I would rather have the skeptics that are just saying, yeah, you guys are a bunch of lunatics. That doesn't affect me at all. I could care less what they think. But the people that do believe and the people that are mean in the Bigfoot community, that just doesn't, I don't know what that's all about. And it's upsetting to me because maybe I'm ultra sensitive, but I don't like it. It doesn't do anything positive. I mean, people aren't on here. Most of them aren't on here for money. They're not on here because they, we're on here because we're interested. We want to find answers out, and we're doing just the best we can.
I will say this. When I posted my first episode, I got a comment from Terry Arnold on the comment section of my YouTube, and he was pretty much like, you're going to catch some flack, you're going to catch some haters, just block them out and forget about them. And just, that's how you go about it. And, and that's probably the best advice you can really give somebody that's starting out is if somebody's hating on you and talking crap to you and, then just block them out and just don't think about it anymore.
Sure.
So, I've always thought about that comment when, I'll always think about that comment if something does happen. So, yeah.
I'll go back to that thinking because it's been a while. You ever listen to Stains, Jake?
It's been a while. No, you can't
Since
say that
I
over.
could. Okay.
We just say Aaron.
How about a day in the life of Clay? What's that like? Just like a regular day. Let's say it's a work day. You don't have to give us all the nitty gritty. What's that like? What's your day like? What are you all about there, bud?
Okay. Well, all right. Nowadays, I mean, like I said, I'm a fine dining waiter. I work evenings most of the time. On the weekends, I work some mornings too. Like I work this morning, I work all day Saturdays. But anyways, for the most part, I go into work at 5 o'clock. I do fine dining waiting till I get off. But in the morning, I wake up. My intention is to read some of the Bible, do a little bit of yoga, do a little bit of working out, try to drink my smoothie first thing in the morning. But I mean, it wasn't always that way. And one of the things that, I'll just say right here. I was a personal trainer until about 28, but then I became addicted to opiates, and I struggled with that addiction for about 5 years. I got really hooked on OxyContin and everything, and I know there's a lot of people out there that have kind of struggled with the same thing. Trust me, I've gone through methadone, Suboxone, Kratom. I've gone through the whole list of trying to get off that, and that's why I actually mentioned that I was going to make an episode of the best way to get off opiates.
Yeah,
one of my so because I've struggled through that, man. I went through like 5-6 year addiction with that, and it's rough, man. It's rough. Not just that, but the amphetamine addictions that are out there as well, which I never really had a problem with that, but it's similar, Sure. So it's just, I think it would be helpful for somebody that's gone through that to kind of give some advice, and that's why I was. Even though I'm doing a squatching channel or a fitness channel, I always thought it was important to do, I've gone through the opiate addiction. I've been there. These are the things I've tried, and this is what I found is the best way to get off that, So anyways, I don't know.
It's commendable. That really is. I mean, that means a lot. You don't know how many people
need
out
that
there.
Yeah, they really are.
Absolutely hate what they're involved in and don't like it, but can't end it. And that's just, I mean, good luck. Keep it up. If you have any, information on that, let us know about that, how that's going, because we could spread the word the best we could.
Absolutely.
I do have one question here from you, Andy Gone Fishing. Do you think there are subspecies of Bigfoot in different regions of the U.S.? Because that's right on my list here, Andy Gone Fishing.
What? He's a mind reader. I told you that guy.
No, Jake, where is it?
I've always been very interested in that question right there. Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
now
what do you think?
Where are you trying to go with that? So what does that question mean, Adam? Is that in count?
I actually said
subspecies. You both use the that. Okay, so what are you talking about? Dogman here? Are
you talking about types? Or are you talking about
three toe?
Not sure what Andy's talking about. I'm talking about, like, do you think they all look like Patty from the Patterson Gimlin footage? Do you think that there's a lot of
for the benefit of the conversation, we'll say different types.
Okay. Types. There you go.
Whether they look different like Patty, or whether they look more chimpanzee like in the South. And I mean, I think they do. I mean, what's her name? Ketchum.
Melba
she came out with DNA evidence
Melba
the same different types in the North and the South. So, I mean, I don't know how you can get more definitive than that, but there seems to be a difference in behavior in the Northwest and in the South, and possibly even up where y'all are. I mean, do y'all's act more like the Patty type? Or are they more?
Seems very passive here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so yeah, there.
Even Adam and I both heard. He heard this alarm sounding long howl type of scream, whereas I thought I heard something more that was a scream.
Yeah.
But it was a scream that should have been so far away I couldn't feel it in my chest the way I felt it. So, it's one of those things too where, and totally by accident it happened. I was sitting in a car and I got out at a specific time, and if I hadn't gotten out of the car early in the morning, I never would have heard this thing, and I never would have, I would have kept listening to the radio, dropping some folks off on that rare occasion where I'm the designated driver. No, just kidding. But it really is. I was a good driver. Anyway.
Right. I mean, I absolutely think there's a difference.
So was a judge, yeah.
Okay. I think there's a difference, and that's why I think Kerry Arnold picked the South for his expedition. I think that's one of the reasons he picked Florida and the South, because they are more aggressive, they are more confrontational and everything. And I've actually got to run to the bathroom real quick, so I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
All right, now, guys, listen,
Jake. It's one thing I forgot to talk about, and we're going to bring it back up as soon as he gets back here. But
what's that?
The whole expedition that they're going on.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be a part of it.
Yeah. Well, this
is hello. Why haven't we talked about that yet?
No. See, I was figuring we were fixing to. We're probably just fixing to. We're getting to it.
I'm so new to this type of
Feels
stuff.
Feels like we're just starting.
My mind
gets
getting
cloudy.
Started. My mind gets cloudy. I have some other questions. Let's go over some of that stuff. What do we have? What about the wild men of Russia or cavemen looking Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about them?
Look at this right here. Do you think the government is getting? No. Look at Adam. What I wanted to say is, do you think when these guys go down there, let's say, fingers crossed, they get the evidence on tape, you think you're gonna let it out to the pewter webs? You think Big Sis is gonna let these guys drop footage of something that has been so hidden for so long? You think they're gonna be, oh yeah, go ahead and put that on the pewter webs, guys? No, they're gonna come in, men in black, guns blazing. I'm gonna need that footage, y'all. Sorry, it's.
I don't think they're gonna be talking like that, Jake.
You don't.
They're probably not gonna be. Maybe they will be. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. You back?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay, sorry, we gotta go quick. We'll be back in a couple seconds.
What?
Talk
Tag.
No. I'll be back. Jake's on his own. Look at these little boys. Come on, do it, Jake. Come on.
Are you serious?
Yes, Jake.
I was just kidding about the tag team part. But while we're there, let's go. What an exciting time to be a wrestling fan. I mean, we're going through are you a wrestling fan? Who's your favorite?
I used to be, man. I used to be a big rock fan and everything. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah.
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, see, I would think I was in the Navy during that time, or after I just got out of the Navy in the early 90s. I missed the whole Attitude Era. I grew up in the 70s and 80s with the Von Erichs and the AWA and World Class Championship Wrestling and Saturday morning wrestling shows. And, so it was like when Hulk Hogan and those guys were first starting to get super huge.
Right.
So, we even had a guy about an hour south. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is from, he's our local celebrity down there. He's a wrestler from Glens Falls. Too bad his only gimmick was running around with a 2x4 because there was a logging plant up the road.
Ooh, Fat Dog?
Oh!
What are we talking about?
We're talking about
by the way,
about WWE wrestling and
we should give him a shout out. He was in the hospital a couple weeks ago, so definitely keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, hope you're doing well. Heal, and you're on the mend. Don't take any more bumps.
No.
So, but Adam,
what do you think Bigfoot is, Clay? I mean, just
like I said, I think it's a flesh and blood creature. But like I said, I wanted to take a break real quick before I get really deep into the expedition that carried on. And like I said, that's why I think he picked the South. Is because they're more aggressive. They're not as passive. I think once we've been there for a little while, they'll be more determined to get us out, and they'll be more aggressive and more courageous, and not just hiding from the group so much. So. And if there's anybody out there that doesn't, know about the expedition, Kerry Arnold from Bigfoot Odyssey has put together a 7-day expedition next spring. And I mean, they're renting pretty much $150,000 worth of thermal imaging, night vision equipment, and everything. They have a GoFundMe page where they're trying to raise a minimum of $20,000 to just get the equipment, rent the equipment, get all the supplies and everything actually, I think we now have 12 team members. So, I mean, it's going to be a 7-day experience, and I mean, we're going to be, day and night, and we're going to each team member is going to have a 4K camera.
Nice.
You have professional audio equipment along with parabolic microphones and thermal imaging and night vision. I mean, I think it's going to be something that's really unique, and hopefully will bring the type of evidence that everybody's been hoping for. So. Anyways, that's going on this spring, and like I said, there is a GoFundMe that Kerry Arnold has set up, and so
for someone,
I'm excited.
For somebody maybe who isn't familiar with any of that stuff that might be watching, not that there probably are any, but if there are any, where's this GoFundMe page, and how do they get to it? What's the best way so they can maybe donate?
Don't know what it's called exactly. I could copy the link somewhere. I'm not
maybe
sure.
Just go to Bigfoot Odyssey. You probably find it there, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Just go to Bigfoot Odyssey YouTube page. I'm sure they have the link in there somewhere. But yeah.
Me and Jake,
or the Facebook page.
Yeah. Just get a connection there and try to figure that out. Okay, that's pretty easy these days. If you want to figure anything out, just go to the root, and there's going to be something there. Social media, YouTube, this and that. You'll be able to find it.
Actually, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this, but we actually just got Cam from
60 Cryptid?
Yes, he's going to be our cameraman.
No.
You.
Yes,
Awesome,
sir. Yes.
You guys are stacked. You've got a stack.
We got the A-team, man. It's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Now,
Damn.
I want to get serious here. Do you think they're really gonna let you guys release the evidence? Let's say you hit the nail on the head down there and get it. Do you think Men in Black are gonna show up and say, "I'm gonna need that footage back, boys"? Sorry about that.
I was kind of wondering about that a couple of months ago. I was like, should we be using FaceTime that's encrypted? But I guess we'll deal with what comes, and like Kerry said, hey, if they show up, he's just gonna go live right then.
Well, I have an idea that Jake just started talking about this, and it just brought to my attention something that might be fun and might be useful to bring is like a satellite phone or two that you can maybe be uploading images to the cloud on maybe in a place you wouldn't. I don't know if you have cell service where you're going. You certainly don't have Wi-Fi, but if you had one of these satellite phones hooked up, you're just right there pushing files into the cloud.
Right. Well, I'm sure we'll have cell service because
Oh, really?
Linda's gonna want to keep in contact with Carrie, so I'm sure they got cell service there. So, and hey, I'm sure my girl's gonna want to do the same. So I'm not I'm not saying anything about that.
Yeah.
My girl will be just as concerned. So
I bet.
But I'm sure we'll have cell service there and everything. So
yeah.
But
let's see here. I have something else to talk about. It's just right behind here.
You got any more questions in the comment section or anything?
I haven't seen anything. A lot of talk about some stuff that had to do with professional wrestling, it seems. I don't know what happened there when I went to the bathroom, but we got Jake the Snake.
Yeah, we stepped out. We kind of got it side.
What about Dogman? What about Dogman? Have you given that any thought?
Man, if there's something else other than Bigfoot in the cryptid reality, spectrum, Dogman would be it. I've heard so many encounters. I've heard so much from cryptid reality and from the BDRP, and there's just so many encounters out there. I other than like aliens, I would think that would be the one, most plausible other cryptid other than Bigfoot that I would be most likely to believe in. I'll put it that way.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Our friend Bomber has a question for you. Have you listened to the 411 interviews? And what do you think of these strange accounts from Mr. David Paulides' work?
Oh, dude, I love those. Yeah. I mean, Coast to Coast has so many David Paulides.
Oh, really?
Just hour-long sessions that, oh man, I've listened to those so many times. And he kind of goes out of his way to say it's not Bigfoot, but I mean, it has to be something. I mean, what else? I believe it could be contributed to that. I mean, there's just, like he says, there's so many pockets where people go missing. Like Yosemite is one of the biggest pockets in the world, where people go missing. And
do you have a 411 site near where you live? Are there any?
No, I would. Well, I won't say I wish I did, but I would like to live near a 411, hot pocket. I'm not gonna say I wish there was one near me, but yeah, I don't. I kind of live, right in the middle. They're kind of on the East Coast and West Coast, so they're not really right down the central United States where I am. But
how far away was that? How far away was that?
20 minutes. 20 minutes. 20-minute drive on back roads over in Chestertown, Brant Lake area. There was just a 411 here recently. I don't know exactly when that was, but it resurfaced anyway. Just this last year, it resurfaced, and pretty compelling things there. It was like about some man kind of just went missing all of a sudden, just for no particular reason, in a place that was like, roads kind of surrounding him here and there, and just no trace, just
place he'd been a million times.
Sure,
it's not just people going missing. It's 3-year-old children being found 1,600 feet up a mountain, from where they.
Those are the ones from him that I just get bugged out about. It just they're so spooky, and the way he tells them, and the detail, the information he gets, and
exactly
so bizarre.
Mm-hmm. It's the circumstances that make it so unusual. It's not just that somebody's missing; it's the circumstances of how the clothes were found or how the body was found up this, a certain elevation and everything. That's what makes it.
Yeah.
Really just unusual. So
very, very much so. Walking your feet down to the bone, and just craziness.
Right.
What's your favorite food? What do you like to eat?
I would say salmon. Man, I fix a mean salmon, oven baked salmon. Yeah. So
you enjoy to get in the kitchen too, then?
Oh, I love cooking, man. Pork chops, grilled oven baked chicken breast, salmon. I love cooking. I love.
So do I. I made some
omelets. Yeah.
I made some stuffed peppers this evening from the garden. Little ones I grew. I had to pluck them early because there were it was a frost, so I had to get them a little early. So there's these little bell peppers like this big, these little guys, and I stuffed those things. And
now, what all do y'all grow? Because I know you have your own garden.
Just generally your basic stuff: potatoes, carrots, zucchini, yellow squash, cucumbers for pickling, mainly, sometimes salads.
Now, were they
Greens.
called the Three Sisters?
Lots of tomatoes and different types of tomatoes.
Right.
And my favorite part of the garden is processing tomatoes, turning them into a puree and cooking them down and just storing them as that. And then you can make anything out of that throughout the whole winter. You can break out some of the stock you made and make like a delicious bolognese or like an awesome like lasagna, or make a pizza sauce out of this basic generic kind of stock. And that's really fun for me. But I did also grow Adirondack blue potatoes this year, which were purple. Made mashed potatoes out of them. And you got purple mashed potatoes, and these things were killer. So those are super fun. If I had more time, more space, I would do some corn. But you have to have enough square footage to make corn cross-pollinate and do its thing. So I don't really want to spend my time with that.
What do they say? You need 4 rows. Ideally, you want 4.
The best way to do it in a small area is like a circle. You want it in a circle, and then it's going to cross-pollinate the best that way.
Dude, me and my girlfriend have always wanted to just move out to the country, have our own field, raise some chickens, some rabbits, some, but I mean, we live in the city, so what we do is we prep. And so I've been kind of into that the past 5-7 years, being a prepper, put it that way.
So I didn't know that about you.
So I'm thinking about putting out some videos about that, because I know quite a bit about that. I know
really
the most important prepper items to stock up on and all that stuff. So I'm thinking about making some videos on that too. So
some top 10 items, maybe a little.
Have you tried out any of the My Patriot Supply?
Yeah, we just got a couple of them in last week. We seriously did. I'm not just saying this because he brought it up. We seriously did. But
that's why I asked.
No, they had such a good deal. They had the $10 deal, and we bought a couple of them, and we figured we tried it out. That was the first time we ordered it, and we haven't tried it yet, but we figured we ordered a couple of those and tried it out. And
we're holding off on that. Jake and I, we're going to be doing that in the wintertime when we don't even want to go outside. And maybe we'll go outside for some snowshoeing or some stuff, skiing, snowboarding, stuff like that. But for squatching, we'll just we got these ideas for the wintertime. We're going to do some My Patriot Supply tasting.
Well, another about to do a series about that. Yeah.
Bingo.
And another reason we decided to order some, because that's where we're going to be living off of for the 7 days while we're in Florida. So I get a little used to it and
see what you
like, and
don't like.
Horrible.
Because it's like Chef Boyardee. You open up that Alfredo and you're like, uh-oh, that ain't good.
I'll trade you this for that. Yeah.
Sure.
So there could be a cooking with clay channel. Also, I mean, you might throw a camera in the kitchen, throw a little, there's tons of them out there. They're all awesome.
There are a lot of good ones. There are a lot of good ones out there. If you nail on the right one, it's so fun. Look at what Bomber said. Adam, will you make a video on processing your tomatoes?
Oh yeah.
We already have. We just did.
Is that what we did?
Well, I didn't really go into detail on it. I had them on the pot. Sorry, Bomber, they're all gone. They're in the freezer as of today.
That sauce was delicious, though.
Oh, Jake, you're too kind, but damn, it was good. Let's see here. What else we got here on the thing here? What heritage? What lineage are you?
Man, I'm a mutt.
Me too.
Blend of everything. Yeah, I have no idea. I believe
you can fly.
I believe Irish is the main. No, Scottish. That's it. Scottish is the main thing. That just other than that, it's just a blend.
McLeod.
I'm probably like 30% Scottish and 7% mutt. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm most
it works. Yeah.
Whatever they did making you, they did a good job. You're getting. I mean.
Appreciate it.
It's just, I mean, look at this guy. I mean,
well, that was 25 though.
Good looking guy. It doesn't matter. That was you then. You got to look about it that way.
Perspective.
Yeah. I found out the other day about it was like 3 days ago. My oldest aunt, my father's side, has had a family heirloom for quite a while, which is a small little desk, a hardwood desk that my great grandfather. It was the only thing he brought from Ireland to the United States when they immigrated here.
Awesome.
I am inheriting that sucker.
That is awesome.
And I am so blown away by that. It's like, it's making me, because I mean, I go in and out of embracing my Irish heritage. Sometimes I'm all about it. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll get into my Polish stuff or whatever. But this is bringing back the Irish again.
Dude, that's priceless.
Pretty excited about it. Great grandfather.
Awesome.
So Martin Fitzgerald brought this thing from Ireland. So pretty exciting. So anyway, that was one of my questions. I just wanted to, learn a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
Like that. That's pretty cool.
Shoe size? 10 and a half?
11.
10 and a half wide at 8
10 and a half, 11.
10? Okay.
Yeah, 10 and a half, 11.
Bigfoot.
6 foot, yeah.
Oh.
6 foot? Wow.
6 foot tall. That's, yeah.
Okay. We're short. Me and Jake are short.
We're short.
Yeah.
People, we can get into
We're
some
like
tight
Sylvester
spots.
Stallone. We look big on film, but I'm only 4'7".
We get in some tight spots.
And Jake, how old? I mean, how tall are you? What are you?
3'11" on a good day.
4'9".
Yeah, you can crawl in the cave.
I'm a registered garden gnome.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
With a squirrel's nest in my beard.
see, that was one of those comments someone put on there a long time ago that still hasn't gone away. It hurt his feelings.
Well, see, I was thinking
It's
about
not cool, guys. Be nice.
One of the things I really love, I don't know why I pick up feathers. You're not supposed to, I guess, but I should put a bunch of random feathers in my beard so it looked like I had an actual. Or maybe we should shoot an episode from the beard nest. A beard nest eye view.
Between the nests.
Between the something like this. I don't know. Or I'm just spitballing here, hanging out.
Okay. Clay, what do you got in the works right now? I mean, aside from the expedition, that's going to be, I mean, absolutely epic. That's one of the things. That's one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about to get you here for. I mean, that's just, that to me is the most outside of the box thinking, the gutsy move that
Right.
anybody
That's one of the things I'm focused on the most right now, because I mean that's what I have to be focused on for the next 6 months.
Yep.
But aside from that, I a couple of months ago, like I said, I used to be a personal trainer back in the day, and I got on drugs, became sober, and decided to focus on a good paying job and kind of working my way up in a steady paying career and everything. But a couple of months ago, I decided that I wanted to get back into personal training part time. And so I figured I would kind of branch off on a personal training channel as well. And so I actually started about a week ago. I meant to start about 2 months ago. But anyways, it's called Fit with Clay.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was young and in my 20s and obsessed with working out and everything, and like I said, I was always good at chemistry and physics and biology and everything. I always understood biochemistry really well about how nutrition, you can manipulate the bodily hormones and affect your testosterone levels and insulin sensitivity levels and just all kinds of stuff. So I always understood that really well. So I'm thinking about getting back into personal training again. So I figured I'd start a fitness channel and kind of approach it with an educational aspect of how to do dietary regimens and how to do workout programs and how to manipulate your bodily hormones and just kind of stuff like that. So
That's
I kind
exciting.
of branched off. Yeah, I kind of branched off on that about 2 weeks ago. So I just started that, but I'm gonna be getting into it more deeper, over the next couple of months. So
that's very exciting. I really like all of that. I really like the finding and showing people the ways to get off pills and stuff like that, improve yourself, basic body health, all that stuff. I mean, if somebody like you, if you could pull it off, if you could get all this type of stuff together, get all this information together so people can actually trust you and feel like they are you, and okay, we can do this together. I can do this, he can do it, I can do it, that type of thing. Instead of having to be like this rock superstar who you don't really know the real truth. It's like, I'm just going to keep eating my food.
exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think you can tell that. I think you can tell that in people's voices. Sometimes you say if it rings true or not. Definitely. I don't know if it's a southern thing that you and Carrie have going on down there. But y'all can hear it in the way that you speak and just your demeanor and approach. I can tell you that you're not pulling my leg when you look at me in the eye or whatever, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But it's funny and it's awesome and commendable too. Everything you're involved with, you're helping or you're giving back or giving, with this, the expedition's no different. All the cameras you're going to donate to other researchers, so you're paying it forward. You're not just, collecting money for a party in the woods.
Yeah, I think I've got to know Clay Campbell a little bit better tonight, and I'm really happy that I did. Last night we did a show. Carrie wasn't available, so I jumped on with Daniela, and we did a show with this lady, and I didn't really know a whole bunch about her. I watched a couple little YouTube videos, and I got watching what she was doing, Claudia, and I was really blown away by this person. I mean, she was like, holy cow. I was like, wow, this lady is so much different than what I thought of instantly. Instantly I had this how people have a kind of first impression, and that could probably happen with a lot of things. That's something that me and Jake are going to be trying to do, is show people in the Bigfoot community who the Bigfoot community is. That's the point. And I'm so glad you came on tonight, man. So glad you came on.
Happy to be here, man. I'm glad
you might look at a couple of guys like us and say, maybe we know a thing about first impressions and judging books by the cover. And I'm just saying, we wear a lot of hats up here.
Sometimes, and I mean, when it's cold, I put this one on. It got cold.
I haven't seen that one before. That's
it's going to be one for my thing down there in the other thing.
Very nice. Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, it's been a blast, man.
It has been, man. I just want to say I want to go out with this. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Anybody who has questioned this, go to the beginning of our comment section underneath this video. There's a link right there to Clay's YouTube channel, and then in there you'll find more links and other ways to get to his other stuff, like Fit with Clay.
Appreciate you.
And stuff like that. And
Squatching Strategies. Make sure you get over there, like it, and if you like it, and then share, subscribe, guys. Come on, don't share the wealth.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, really, seriously.
Let your friends know, people.
Clay, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure we'll talk more in the future.
Yes, sir.
And keep everybody posted if you need anything that needs to be said. If you think that maybe you want to just talk with us off the air, and maybe we could say something about the progression of how you feel the whole thing is coming out with Bigfoot Odyssey and the mission. I mean, I'm always interested in that stuff. I can only get my information. I don't talk to Carrie on a personal one-on-one basis all the time. I'm always interested in what's the next thing. I mean, come on now.
I'll tell you what I can. I'll tell you what I can.
Dixie Cryptic gonna be cameraman.
The cam on the lands. Come on.
I mean, this is like.
Oh, that's huge. I mean, we just found that out the day before yesterday.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
That's huge.
Remember when they put that basketball team together for the Olympics from America?
The Dream Team, that was called.
This is what you guys kind of are in the Bigfoot
assembling.
You're like the Dream Team.
Yeah, I mean,
boom,
dude. I mean, I could have never imagined we'd have the crew that we do now. I mean,
it's awesome.
It's awesome. It's like a dream come true. It really is.
So maybe we should get a poster of the Dream Team, and we'll cut out the NBA players, and we'll put the heads of the Squatchers for the Dream Team on there.
Oh, dang.
Who do you want to be? You want to be Larry Bird, Magic Johnson? Do you want to be Daryl Dawkins? I don't know who's on there.
Put together, Jake.
Ronnie Cycli.
Hey, Clay, we're not going to keep you any longer, bud. Go have a good night. Have fun with the girl. Be good. Have fun. Stay healthy. Keep us informed. And again, thank you so much for coming on. It was nice to get to know you a little bit better.
Keep being awesome.
It was a blast. Thank you.
Good. Thanks you. Later.
Peace, guys. Thank you.